Akashanti, the real reflection of you. Today's on building, and I don't know. So I'm literally in the building process right now, right, of like a physical structure, and it's so interesting. It's so fascinating what I've been continuing to learn about like how that whole thing works. Not only in the sense of like, okay, well, here's how you do certain things or whatever, but more so in the sense of the process of how it all works. Right, it started off with us taking everything apart, stripping it to its bare bones, so that it's just the structure itself. And then from there, it was, and that process in and of itself takes quite a long time, you know. And in doing so, it's identifying, okay, well, these are certain things that we can actually destroy, and these ones we need to be careful of because they support the structure or whatever. And I'm just putting it in the process of like myself as a human being, or my mind, you know, looking at it, okay, like here's some physical structure, but it's all really a reflection of me. And so what is this telling me? What is this teaching me? What is this process of tearing oneself apart or tearing a structure apart to its most fundamental core, to be able to see, well, this is as far as we can tear it apart before it actually comes down and collapses. That's not the purpose, right? It's like, no, well, we really just want to redo the interior, whatever. Or we want to redo the exterior. We're not trying to take the whole structure down. So understanding, like, what do I destroy? And again, same thing for myself. Like, what parts of me do I destroy such that I, like, almost, like, redo the interior or remodel things without destroying the individual of who I am? And it's so interesting to me, you know? Like I mentioned, just that whole process is like incredibly not only fascinating, but in terms of like, oh, it's and not only fun either, you know, it's actually very enjoyable to be like, all right, today we're working with our hands and we're gonna make lots of loud noises and whatever, right? That's a fun part. I really enjoy that, actually. But it's not only that, it's a little bit of thought put into it, you know? So that's one thing that's going on with my life. The other that is going on in my life is I've been working on this project, and I was promised to be paid like within 2 weeks. It's over 3 months and I still haven't been paid. And it's funny because I noticed myself a little like, oh, what's going on? What's going on with these people? Blah, 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 and whatever, right? Like that whole, how am I gonna pay down this bill or whatever? And it's like, dude, relax. Are you okay today? Yes, you're okay today. Does it like suck a little bit that it's taking a little bit longer? Yes, it does suck a little bit that it's taking a little bit longer. Are you gonna die? Are you gonna be in the poorhouse because of it? No. And by that, I mean, is someone gonna come after you with like, I don't know, like a crowbar and a gun saying, if you don't give us your money? No. So it's not really that much of an issue. It's not even a big deal. So the fact that a part of me is like making it a big deal is like, okay, well, clearly it's not. So you're a little in delusion, which I think is normal. I think most people go through something like this. Maybe not the exact circumstance, but something like that we could all relate to, thinking, oh, I wish this one thing would happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then the expectation of all that, you know? More and more, I'm realizing that to do stuff without expectation, or to, like, I've been instructed, taught, whatever. I've learned that this whole idea that I can't do something expecting something in return. Rather, I simply do the thing for the sake of doing it. And that, in and of itself, is the return. That's like the true return. Yeah, if you get something else in exchange or something back, it's a nice little bonus, but it's a nice little bonus. It's not an expectation. And so, getting back to this whole concept of what I was just talking about in terms of the expectation, right? If it's like, the act of doing it is the reward. The act of doing work is the reward. It's not getting paid. The getting paid is it's a nice little byproduct, but the act of doing something is the reward. The act of making this little video is the reward, not how many people watch it or whatever. The act of walking around right now while I'm talking is the reward, not the, I don't know, anything else that comes along with it, right? The act of doing, like I mentioned in that project that I was working on, the act of doing the project was the reward. Yeah, getting paid is nice and blah, blah, blah. So don't take this the wrong way, right? I'm not saying that, okay, if I do a project, the act of doing the project's nice, and then you're like, okay, well, the act of doing the project's nice, so I'm not gonna pay him. No, that's not what I'm saying, right? I will, I'm not a buffoon, right? I will, whatever, I'll take whatever actions and whatever steps need to be made in order to make sure that that happens. But I'm saying for me as an individual that I can't be dependent on what the external world does or what the outside world does to me. Rather, it's important for me to be independent of that, and that knowing that the act of doing something is that reward. So that's a little thing for me. This is Akash Shinsi. Keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.